And Harry and Hugo can't cast it because they want to so badly.
Yeah, they just want to rename all our spots. That's what I've heard.
I think the only call-out that we've got remaining now is Glizzy, though.
Just the Glizzy one,
We
yeah.
can all agree on that.
And they told me they were on board, so if they bail now, it's just because neither of them have a spine.
Yeah.
And I know that's not true. Keto. Okay, he gets there with CSGO, but Safe brings it back. We got the Safe 2K trade. There is a third player here, and FURIA dropped down into the water. Of course, this has been heard immediately. tabseN loves a timing on this flank, and he finds it with the most succulent of one-taps. Now, Yuri's style down here, and we've got Art over on long A, so this is kind of weird. CT's actually pushed bridge and split. The bomb is alone inside of Dark and can go straight to this B plant while Art is selling this fake.
Yes, and Crimbo sits here, and the thing is they trust Crimbo. So we'll see. They're flanking back to catch him. Art is about to walk into a 1v1. Let's see if he gets tabseN. No, doesn't grab that, and now the bomb gets planted. Just Yuri, but already this bomb plant is a pretty nice win.
Yeah, curious situation here. Yuri 1v3. Good amount of time will be burned off the clock before the retake comes through. They have no idea. I mean, he could be pushed in so many different corners, and he's going to play pillar, pops out, knows he's got a player Dark. He can just wait this. Oh, Yuri! Beautiful second headshot. Here's the last player coming, but Crimbo will put an end to his hopes of the pistol clutch. The 1v3 that could have been, and down to the wire, but isn't.
Wow, that's such an amazing try from Yuri, and like, you almost feel like there's a 50-50 chance with him in these 1v3 situations, and he finds the spot that allows him to kill both players, and it gives him so much movement as well. He opens himself up to the long rotation, but that player is going to come in after some time, so I don't know, leave it to Yuri to figure out how to make that close. But Crimbo also really, really strong in clutch rounds, so you see him coming in, it feels like suddenly the odds can almost swing back. And Crimbo has impressed so much on this map. I mean, I think he's the best A-side player at the moment from the small sample size we see, so I'm really excited to see him tested versus some more teams. But it honestly feels like the way that he's playing the pillar as a rifle, and then the way he's playing Cake inside the site, these are two great spots that some teams that are playing retake, I feel like it makes them look like they're way weaker. And the other interesting thing for Big is playing inside of middle, especially tabseN fighting for space constantly.
We'll be trying to do so again. And nicely done. Last couple bullets there. tabseN gets the headshot. Crimbo off the platform. Locks this in. Takes a dink. No problem. KSCERATO hands back into the AK-47.
Now, the thing is, from Crimbo, we've seen him play basically two versions of the site. I guess retake is always possible. He just really doesn't use that very often, and I love that. But he's got two solid spots in the site. Then they have the option to push with the op if they ever want to, and then he can also play retake as a failsafe or just to change it up. And I think that most oppers or most riflers in the world right now feel insecure just playing the standard spots in the site in a way that he's not. He's just got a strong sense of timing, very reliable by himself. And Keto and Crimbo love playing mid together. We saw them as a really good 1-2 punch. Right now, FURIA coming for mid pretty strong, so it's going to create for some like exciting situations. But so far, so good for Big.
Another challenge just with the pistols. tabseN. Oof, gets dinged. No problem, though. Get out.
Oh, FURIA just coming straight for mid every round.
Fun to see what they're going to get up to. Nade that could end 4 lives. Never forget. At a moment's notice.
FURIA intent on waiting this out to reapproach. No flanks coming in this situation. We saw how many times tabseN flanked. I think it was versus Liquid, right? Flanked B every time they weren't playing in mid. So I think FURIA just answering that problem right away, saying, okay, well, let's make sure he's not comfortable first. Maybe that's how their idea of how the start to the half should be. Establish here and then move forward with something else afterwards.
Clean CSGO. Ooh, clean CSGO. And Crimbo, again, a consistency on this A site that y'all better get ready for.
Yeah, I mean, him tested here versus FURIA, that would be another thing. Of course, there's always, I would say, a disadvantage for the team playing their first match on it, no matter how good prep has gone, no matter how good theory has, and no matter how good their scrims have been. But actually, Big were a team that stood against that, and their opening match, it looked like they were playing a scrim with how confident they were in their match. So, of course, leave it to them to do a good theory craft. But this matchup has had, I feel like, a lot of history where for a long time it was just Furia beating the hell out of Big over and over again. And then Big won a rematch, and then Furia won the last one. Ooh. That was an interesting approach to boost over that smoke for an early mid-fight.
Challenge out. Crimbo, clean again.
Just so good at it. I mean,
looking for KSCERATO. He's very aware. KSCERATO and drop return here, so we've got a man advantage for Furia. Looking for the A split. Crimbo could get traded, but also manages to get tucked close on box.
Wow.
Oh, drop reacts. He was shooting over towards the smoke. Welcome the Crimbo peak. And we get Furia with, I would say, like a very Furia-esque pace to this round. We've seen similar splits from different teams, but I don't think we've ever seen one necessarily that quick. Like the way those the two long players just ran out as fast as they did.
yeah.
And sure enough, Crimbo succeeds in killing one, in taking down that second. And saffee, of course, will still have a chance in this clutch. We've got drop pinned in behind Cake. The storage peak came just a second after saffee rounds that corner, and so Safe is able to just walk it down, end it real quick, and give Furia a round win.
And that is one thing that, even though the option is there for the 8 push and the retake plays, we see that very less from Big than anything else. And so if they feel like they can run out towards the A site and Crimbo plays within the site, he can keep getting 1 and 2 or whatever it is. But if they get all that space for free, you know they're going to use it well. So might require saffee to come in to try and reinforce that part of the map. But this game is already really interesting with the ideas Furia are bringing. Oh, that's a big find.
Damn.
That'll speed things up if it weren't already going so fast.
There's also nobody else here inside of this B site. We're seeing 3 players out of Big and mid right out the gate. Wow. Understandable with the consistency of the mid play.
This is a free round. I mean, there's 2 ops on the map right now on the CT side. saffee, surely they use a nade. Oh, okay, they're just, he's not ready for them to be there at all.
Here's the thing. We've seen Big already play some capable teams on Anubis and look good. But in reality, I was wondering whether or not Furia were going to be able to bring their identity, their tempo, that classic Furia pace that we'd see everywhere else here into Anubis. And I feel like that's a great example of Big having protocols, adapting the 3 mid setup, etc., but just not adjusting to the pace and velocity that Furia are throwing out of this game. And we're getting classic Furia already 5 rounds into this game.
Yeah, I mean, it's not really a map they don't play like themselves on. So not surprised to see it, but I think we've seen a contradiction in terms of teams talking about Anubis. I've heard both teams say, you want to slow play the map and it's a thinking man's map. And then I've heard that this map isn't very hard and actually you can play pretty fast on it. And we have yet to see what the style that's going to make the most sense on. But I think from what we've watched, teams have figured out a lot of stuff very quickly. They feel very confident. And I don't think there's any reason to drop your pace on a map that people have not figured out yet, right? You want to break the most timings. And this is how Furia have made their name. And Furia are also very good when maps get introduced to the pool. Very good at finding utility. That's an underrated part of this squad for sure. When it came to Vertigo initially, when it came to Ancient, a couple of very key smokes have been introduced because of Furia that people still use to this day.
Honestly, world-class team.
Yeah.
Making, obviously, the semi-final run in Rio. Kind of breaking the curse that is constantly getting quarterfinaled. Having Yuri back behind them. And there was a lot of calls, I think, on this offseason for maybe Art to be replaced in order for Furia to unlock this new level, or maybe for Art to be even just forced into a new type of leadership and in-game calling, like to change up the identity of Furia.
Wasn't me.
Of course not. Wasn't us. Who would think of that? But I think those voices have to be addressed.
I think that's akin to when people were calling for Cadian's head, right?
Sure.
It's like
yeah,
you could say change him, but like now that we see them winning, of course, that makes no sense. But everyone was saying you need to replace Cadian because of his individual level. But like, look at Furia. Like their identity is Art in the same way that Heroics is Cadian. So working with him probably much better than trying to remove him.
See what they bring in for the new season of Counter-Strike. Of course, I do think this is a team that has high expectations set around them. boot camping in Serbia for nearly a month prior to coming into the Katowice play-in. So if you're expecting one of those cold starts, as some teams have experienced at the start of 2023, I don't put FURIA on that list at all. And playing Anubis right out of the gate is a real test for that. Good challenge here, Keto. It will be dropped. It's a one and done off of the pillar. Crimbo still sitting in heaven, anticipating that eventual push from the other pieces. tabseN with the pistol kill. That sets up Crimbo wonderfully. And then KSCERATO loses his angle inside of the smoke. He's trying to set himself up and create a distraction so we can get this Art slide down into sight. But Art's patience will be punished. saffee gets the better of him, and KSCERATO can't continue to thrive. It's a slow down hit inside of this A site. Look at the carnage in the open floor of that A site.
Yeah,
Shut down by Big.
The only time they think they've gone B is when they got that really quick opening kill at the beginning of the round from the Yuri spam. Outside of that, it's been a lot of A plays. They've got their eyes set on it. And that's a very interesting demon to try to take on, again, because if there's any one CT that looks the best, in my opinion, on this map, it's going to be Crimbo. And right now, we have cameos from two other players in there ready to fight versus the walkouts. It looks like FURIA have cooled down on trying to push down bridge over and over again. And I feel like effectively sort of scared tabseN out of what he's really liked. And now Crimbo's on an op over on the A side.
There's nobody in middle to stop that early presence. They did let off of it.
Ooh, this is a big find.
They're right back
It's
into
Crimbo alone.
It's going to get tested from both ends with the op. At least gets Art first. Critical. And gets back tucked into storage. I feel like that's an invitation now for KSCERATO and Yuri to activate on long.
Well, the rotates will need to come in from behind to help him. But it doesn't seem like Big are sure at this moment that it's going to be the A site.
Stalling out for the second. Crimbo, he's at least put himself in a position where long won't be his end. And with a player pushing forward, now they've got eyes towards the fountain. And Crimbo's still expecting that mid play to come through. Mid player does have bomb. This challenger that's about to round the corner into Crimbo. FUVN, oh, three!
Wow.
All three that he needs.
Honestly, dropped at his best to bait as long as possible. I think worried about an op, which was very nice awareness from him, but ultimately wasn't enough.
saffee tries to double this one back. I mean, brick-walled by FUVN and by Crimbo.
Yeah.
And it felt like they were in the pressure cooker.
It was, yeah.
But they still activate, and I love that slide-out play from FUVN, right? Crimbo knows he's locked in, holding mid, can't look elsewhere.
He says, trust me, trust me.
Go ahead, take a glance. And we don't get to see how FUVN actually cuts down both players, but I mean, critical 3K out of FUVN this round.
I think we had the cool angle, though, just watching the op in that spot with the full trust and seeing how Drop wasn't fully swinging. I would have been critical of Drop, like, why wouldn't you swing in this position? But he clearly was cognizant of the fact that there could be coverage here, that he wouldn't open himself up, which, again, I thought was very smart, but wasn't good enough. Big have shown an enormous level of comfort, especially in that zone from multiple players, stopping these A walkouts. And the other thing is they could know, even though Crimbo didn't see anything after they lost that mid kill, that this is something FURIA are going to try to use again. They're probably going to try to split the A site again. There are some tells based on what's gone on in these first 7 rounds that will lead him to believe. saffee. Oh, you saved that, yeah?
Yes,
okay.
sir.
Okay, interesting. Let's see what they can do with the op. Just a few rifles, or a few pistols behind it. Wow, man. FUVN.
Nice.
Unbelievable.
Excellent. Sectioning of both those players out in the open.
Even after baiting the op shot out.
Yeah. Really well done. We got a force behind this. So saffee, who managed to get that opening pick through mid doors last round. The one op. Yuri, singular AK.
I like the mollying bridge right at the beginning of the round. Oh. They're solid nade.
Flash forces drop down into the water. We've got 4 members of FURIA. And a smoke goes deep dark. Gap on that FUVN. He's going to get aggressive. Takes a peek out long.
This is the other kind of most important reaction that we see out of the best teams at the moment, is knowing when to push the extremities. It seems like you do it a lot. But if you do it too often, you get caught.
I feel like it's also a difficult push. When you come around that corner, there's like 5, 6 positions you could be.
Headshot angles.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But now,
look at the reward.
Yeah, the reward is massive. They could even walk into an open site and still the rotations would be fine from the CTs.
I think that's going to serve as the trigger as well. AWP goes down. Keto still looming above the bridge. saffee going to try to molly off Jail to make sure that they all stay stuck on one side of this bomb site. And that'll work perfectly for FURIA, who's doubled back. Now, Art has gotten very aggressive, and the bomb finally goes down. Missed snapshot with that op, but at least tabseN, who's behind saffee, is able to cut down one. FURIA activates long A. They've got these Ts corralled back here, but they could very well fight out. Crimbo, unbeknownst to FURIA until this moment, has kind of lost track of Yuri. And Yuri, well, now that bomb's being defused, has to make a play if he wants to get him off it. Jumps the gun, shoots the corpse, and then still dies to Crimbo. So very active round from Big. They knew what they wanted. They timed it all perfectly. And even though FURIA get away with this plant, it's a 6th to Big.
Yeah, you know they talk about FURIA all the time because, again, the history here, the best of threes, the really embarrassing losses that Big have suffered, specifically versus FURIA, right? The team that comes in with so much prep, so many good utility, so much good utility, and then FURIA come through and we're like, we're going to kill you where you line up your retake nades. We're going to rush you on vertigo all the way to your spawn, and it just ruins everything that Big have learned that works versus a lot of other styles of play. And they've shown that they have been able to fight back against that. But to do it in another series, that would be even more impressive. Because tentatively, they're just a team that got a revenge match versus FURIA, but overall have a losing record.
But obviously Anubis, man, is a new variable to this equation.
It's true.
tabseN takes some shots. Sees a second T. Goes ahead to smoke him off and nearly even kills him. Art will be finished off by Keto. Crimbo tucked in, plays behind baskets. KSCERATO gets hit, but still falls back. All the while, we got Keto farming frags here from Dark. 4! Just mows down everybody that faces him inside of the water and dropped down to a quarter HP because of tabseN's original mid-fight. Excellently done there from Keto. That range distance with the M4A4. You know, FURIA just kind of playing around in the waterway.
So it looks like FURIA's initial ideas they've been a unique look on the map, I feel like. First of all, the pace is just so very FURIA. And then the way they're splitting A through mid very fast as well has also been interesting. But Big uncomfortable just yet, I don't think. And at first, all the bridge control to kick things off, well, that was good. But now we're getting farther and farther away from bomb plants. We've seen a few teams try the full B through B main, which at first no one would try. And that ended up working a little bit in the groups. That's something that FURIA could still maybe attempt. Problem is splitting B really quickly is difficult to do versus everybody because so many people are just intent on holding Con down with as many smokes as you possibly can, rendering mid control useless. So let's see what FURIA we've got here in round 10.
I really did like that mid-aggression we were getting out of them at the start of the half.
But I think then Big started mollying bridge over and over again to slow them down. I think that was a really good idea.
See if we get back to it. Here they are, 3 bodies in. Smoke for Temple.
Oh, this looks like a very familiar round, but what does it look like to Big?
Ooh, looks like that Molotov just bounced back in FURIA's face. Crimbo, 10 and 2. Sits comfortably on Fountain.
I'm not sure if FURIA got what they were looking for. They have one mid a little bit, and they've pushed the CT very far back in FURIA. But it's still 2-2 to the sites. They still got con control. And it looks like they're about to erupt.
saffee walking in, close contact. One's his, he's got Keto with him. Keto playing a few steps back. Art, beautiful couple of headshots, cracks open this bomb site, and FURIA, who was pushed back because of the mid contact, is now all the way back here on CT tunnel. So it does feel like, thanks to Art and that double kill, they do get what they want. They reap the benefits of going into middle first, pulling that third player away. Feel like it put Keto into a more awkward position, playing in front of Pillar.
Yes. Now they could have done the get info on B main, but I think it was a bit dysfunctional between Keto and saffee, where saffee, yeah, he could have got a 2K if he just aimed better on the second kill, but Keto could have also complemented the setup in a better way. Instead, he was a second line of defense right behind saffee. But the way saffee was playing it, it was kind of hoping that there weren't actually that many Ts there. And versus the full attack, as we saw, well, that wasn't the truth.
Damn, there's still costs to be racked up here. Yuri traded out, so they end up losing 3 of the 4 players who came off of that bomb site. Obviously, FURIA happy to win another round, but it's going to come with a cost. And not everybody has the best amounts of money, so this could be a critical turning point where Big just continue to tear up a CT side. You know, again...
Have they been nading stairs in the middle in the beginning of the rounds?
I saw it once that FURIA naded back.
Yeah,
like
FURIA
into the B
back.
site.
Yeah.
Whew. Important round win here for FURIA to just get this T side ball rolling again, but that's not an Art 2K entry. Better hope that some kind of heroic like that comes through yet again.
Looks like money's still pretty good here for FURIA. Just Yuri, 1 flash. Safe smoke flash. But money is even better for Big. They'll have everything they need and a little left over. I think if I'm FURIA, just looking at that opportunity right now to be able to take over Con and hit B without any split going on. Well, that's a pretty massive one, and one of the places where Big has seemed the least comfortable. Oh, they're going with the full B main. The counter flashes are so good.
It feels like that could have killed them. If any CT is actually looking for the fight on long, you've got 2 guys stranded in the open. Crimbo back to plat. Safe, the only player to pick up a kill until Drop gets his, and he is still here on jail, but he's also already being flanked. He seems to know it, but so be it. tabseN denies any chance at that split going successfully.
He held his composure for so long this half. He didn't go through for one of those big flanks, and he finally does.
And it works out wonderfully.
Yeah, really well done from tabseN.
Look at this.
A massacre.
The meat pit.
Yum.
FURIA going to have to rebuy with everything that they can. But I mean, that one's not an inspiring round. Hell, just those flashes alone, it could have been even worse. They could have actually died even faster.
tabseN probably calls, you know, early utility now. I'm flanking around, there's no one in middle. Even before he knows for sure.
So, Crimbo having shut down that A site nice and early. We get multiple peaks down in dark.
Ooh,
Keto, Favin killed.
Yeah, these B players having some trouble.
Feels like they have troubles when they go into dark or try to take those fights.
Yes.
But they were sitting on that site just a round ago. It went wonderfully. KSCERATO smokes off lane, gives him a chance to get in through dark. We get an additional player added to the B site. So cool to see FURIA not shy away. This time, of course, it's not emphasized on long, but down inside of water.
That's what I was saying with their opportunity last time. They got those kills in Con. They got into B with no split whatsoever. Time they failed, they tried to go full through B main, but saffee and Keto have some chemistry to work out. Now it's a question, I think, for FURIA is how long this can work. Because right now, this seems like their one plan that actually looks solid. Crimbo is 12-2.
Dude, I mean, A site is closed.
Yeah, it's closed.
Even when FURIA had footing on that
He
site.
makes it look so easy.
I don't know how.
Versus people like KSCERATO walking into your site, like how?
We've seen multiple setups as well. Ooh, that was off the one burst. Jeez. And this time, we've got eyes on the flank. saffee, that's where he gets caught.
Okay, so this is the opportunity for FURIA. They can chew through all the money now. Big will be broke after this if FURIA win.
Opens the door to a near even half. Feels like the T's are already ahead of the grenades if they do get thrown. Oh, but I guess Safe's still back here. He's going to take the brunt of that one. Goes for his door peek where he has picked up opening kills, but this time there's nobody facing him. Instead, Crimbo already starting to lean into the opposite site. He's not playing A this time.
I think they're waiting for this push. Yeah, they're hoping for a push right now as they push into mid control, and KSCERATO gets the kill. How did he go unnoticed for that long? Was he just crouched behind
box? Yeah.
I didn't even know you could hide like that.
Unless FURIA had also eaten some kind of a flash.
This is a good read from FURIA. Good call. Good punish with mid. And a 5v4. Massive advantage right now. And, you know, if they're trying to end B, even though there are two still here, these two have been taking turns dying, so.
Will be weird to get through mid with no smokes. As all they have are the double frags, double flash.
Oh, yeah.
But saffee misses a chance at toppling one of these Ts. He can comfortably take long.
But they also are wondering about Crimbo, right?
tabseN deep CT spawn. He's got, he's milking it.
My God.
And that's going to be wonderful. Not taking the first shot. Excellently played, but KSCERATO picks up that slack. Now we're talking all four of FURIA's players, those that are still surviving, with half or less HP. And the B site players getting down into the dark. Nice trade out versus Crimbo. We've got this long player coming, and KSCERATO is just going to go ahead, prioritize plant. Keto can't stop that. Awkward position here for Keto. He's thinking more about the bomb site than saffee, who walks in, hits the shot under pressure, and now gives saffee an invitation to leave.
Wow, just beautiful. Love the trade from KSCERATO. And again, the attack on the site. It's such a frail site, even with multiple people there. And I like how, you know, they get saffee back off the A site. That shot being missed is also could have been impactful. But they are exposing all of the flaws and insecurities of Big on this map in a way that so far Big haven't really had trouble with. Crazy though, they still only have 5 rounds, but the calling is just getting better here for FURIA. I mean, they're figuring out a problem, they're attacking it, they're putting pressure on it, they're bringing back in middle, bridge control in the beginning. Now they're putting economic pressure on Big. They probably got Big thinking, thank God we got their 8 rounds now because FURIA are only getting smarter.
Just didn't see him. I think that goes
flash
back.
Didn't work.
Feels like it goes back to our point about, you know, pushing that. How there's so many angles to look at. Are you really going to prioritize clearing that box when you have to clear ledge a second later?
Also, the flash just didn't do anything.
Not ideal. Damn. Okay. KSCERATO gonna open up with a nade kill. And of course, as much as we want to praise the adaptation and game plan of FURIA in that last round, also hinges on KSCERATO getting those killer 3Ks.
Which, if you set him up, he'll get him for you.
Crimbo showing his diversity. That just looks so comical in third person, but unfortunately for Crimbo, nobody's creeping into his crosshair. We've got this long push from the op in saffee. A smoke dropped. Oh, of
with
course.
The bomb.
That's ridiculous. Now he doubles back. And while that smoke's up, they may not expect FURIA's players to be coming down from long, but there's also one here, T-spawn, so drop finds the better timing. However, FURIA's still able to push through, grab the op off the corpse.
He's got to take some kind of risk. And he's worried about everything at the moment.
I mean, it just feels like everything's occupied. If they can snatch that bomb, just get back to the B site, it's there for the taking. But they're cautious, and they should be. Hell, even in T-spawn, Crimbo with that Nova, inching his way closer to the back of Drop's head. FURIA, nice hold. Again, first pressure is going to be on him. Crimbo still creeping forward. FURIA looking to hold this line. The pistol's out. It gets covered by KSCERATO, who again is looking to save the day. FURIA gets ever closer. We've got the T stuck behind the pillar, and then things get awkward with that unscope. So KSCERATO, back-to-back rounds, multi-kill impact, 3 kills prior, 4 kills this time, and it nets FURIA their 6th.
Must be a Tuesday for KSCERATO. It's just so good at this game. Really great stuff. Precarious situation. Drop saves them with that flank to kill saffee. That gives them a chance to get the bomb back. And it's still not over. It's basically the USP is the reason that they lose this round. Leave it to FURIA to find a way out. It's been a great match of watching two teams that have a good read on each other. One starting out strong, one adapting really well. A new style of play introduced to Anubis here.
Keto, turns back towards long, dies. Bomb again, man. Awkwardly sitting on bridge right now. Obviously not ideal. Be a little bit of a recovery mission before the destruction of either site, which both are open. We've got a player creeping out. Drop is here on B. KSCERATO holding long, keeping it honest. Oh, poor tabseN. Can't get the better of him, so now Crimbo's going to have to go big to close out this half. And he's got drop pinned against the pillar. Tough fight for him.
All right, it's Crimbo time. Last round of the half, 1v2. You tell your team, mate, I've seen you do this. And he sits here on the side assuming they're going to walk into him, but that's not the case.
They're going to go ahead and plant elsewhere. So Crimbo, nothing to save for. Throw the Hail Mary. 8 rounds for big. Seems like they shut FURIA down on a good amount of their ideas. We've had some creep rounds where KSCERATO comes through with very critical individual moments. And now drop bomb beyond the halfway point, so he's going to have to go into 6th gear. And as he runs across, Safe locks him in. It's 8 to the side of big. Decent enough CT side, and we'll see what their offense has in store when we come back. slight edge the way of Big at the end of the first 15. FURIA, it's a first outing here on Anubis, and it's an outing that had aggression in the name of the game straight out the gate. Turned away in middle, shut down over towards that A site. Crimbo goes above and beyond on Nova's ops and rifles, and tabseN is right there with him. So all things considered, Big, I think, happy with the first 15, and now giving us a showing on their T side. Wouldn't be their first Anubis win. No, sir. Starting to put themselves at the top of the Anubis list. Art, poor guy, stuffed by saffee as he jumps out through that smoke. KSCERATO will find Favin at the very least. And we've got bombed down, but a la FURIA fashion, we already have two of these counter-terrorists trying to encroach from behind. Keto doubles back to attempt to stop this. They've also got that fight going in towards storage, so Big surrounded and being peeled back one after another. Very clean retake out of FURIA, but at least Big can be happy with a plant.
Yeah, hell yeah. That's an instant 4v5, and they still don't lose a player after that. So beautiful with the amount of space they took and how quickly, made up for the fact that Art in front of his smoke couldn't put up his one frag. So yeah, for Big right now, the two maps they've got, the stats look excellent. They actually win more on T side by a significant margin, 66%, but we have such stompy games that their first half in both of the matches would be more meaningful. They just close out, it looks like, on CT side. So there's still some problems here for FURIA. We'll see how they can develop, and we'll get to see their CT side. I want to know where KSCERATO is going to play. That's actually what I'm most curious about.
Okay.
I'm thinking he's such a Yakinder pillar player that I could see that. Oh, he's playing the A site, anchoring.
Nice camera angles, Observer Team. I see you guys. We had one in position for the throw and the receive. Get a little boost going here, Favin. Looking to swing the deke, crack open sight, but I believe we're getting jump spots from the other end. It will be Art to open up. Bottom of the stack gets tagged. And saffe's going to spot that bomb. So keeping everybody back. FURIA, a clean conversion here could bode well for a defense that maybe Big can't break through. We don't know what we're going to get out of FURIA just yet. You know, I've heard the conversation from the likes of Snappy saying that when it comes to CT side on Anubis, there are no mid-round aggressive options. That's what he hates about it. It's what he doesn't like about this map. I feel like tabseN's shown us sometimes you can go for the bridge play. Like,
I don't necessarily believe that. I think they might be hard, but I guess that might be one and the same with the way that Snappy is describing it.
Sure.
But I think it's too early to say that, and I think, you know, we have yet to see FURIA play it like you're alluding to right now. And we also see tabseN pull off full flanks via middle. We see, I don't know, we see a very aggressive phase on this map on CT side. It might just be the fact is that his team is not as comfortable with it, or he hasn't figured it out yet.
He also, for the record, didn't like the Anubis changes.
What Anubis changes?
The moving of the spawn back.
Ancient?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, excuse me. Ancient changes.
All right.
Didn't like the ancient changes.
Oh, energized.
Love that. A little bit of God beat tabseN energy. Here we go, Big stacking up outside of the B site, not wasting a moment here. We're going to get the flash in from Crimbo. And of course, yeah, 3 defenders ready. They're going to have Dark, front pillar, and sight. Safe while blind, gets one. Drop catches the next one. Took a teammate's bullet to the back of the head, so he's a little dizzy. But Yuri will reclaim the space. It's a bit disjointed, I think. Keto trying to come in through Dark that late. Obviously wanted to recover the moment. Maybe didn't expect Dark to be occupied.
I think he's just lurking.
2 players already front sight.
I don't think he would have gone out unless his teammates got killed normally. But then the round is like lost, so it's okay, 3v5. We got to make something happen. But I think they're trying to do their full B hit. And they were one of the teams I was talking about that does do a full B and make it look good. But FURIA here, they smoke right away, and they play 3 riflers inside the site, ready for this exact play. So another great read out of FURIA. Got to check every angle when you're playing against FURIA.
I also do love that, you know, FURIA could have just won this and sat inside their sights. I've never seen a CT advantage set up this play.
Yeah, it's a cool crossfire.
And I feel like it does a really good job of limiting all options of Big maybe coming back into a round here, right? You can't cross bridge, you can't push down water. Your only option is literally to go rugs. And Akrimbo does decide to take it, but obviously time expires, so no further movement. And FURIA, very convincing shutdown of Big's first guns.
And they didn't push into con control. They didn't really fight that much. They, in fact, wanted Big to come to that site, and they put themselves in great. I feel like those angles on that site are just going to fit the FURIA players so well. And right here again, the key thing is counter flash and the smoke that comes out first. It looked like even if the T's got that first entry, the trade would have been immediate. Then there would be 2 more CTs in good spots with the fresh smoke up. They had a way to win anyways.
CSGO and Krimbo, 2 saved guns. Front of the setup. Drop just got props from Guri last round. Smoke is an invitation. Drop can't manage more than 1. Luckily for him, Yuri just a couple paces back. And the A4 finds all the kills.
Wow, he's such a monster.
Shut him down. Move him out.
What a legend.
Majority pistols, but so be it. It is very clean from Yuri.
As per, man. What a rifler. That's the spot that I pictured KSCERATO standing on. But Yuri, I mean, what's it? It's Urato at the end of the day.
If not one, the other. Back into the action. Let's see what they got. Immense amounts of damage early versus saffee.
Such a massive start here from Big, eclipsed by the comeback of FURIA.
All right, we get to see the KSCERATO B hold. Excuse me, A. Meanwhile, Keto walking up, caught by the FAMAS. Nearly dead as saffee, but able to trade and survive, so that'll turn somebody back towards middle. Safe looking to get aggressive, wants to find that deep angle. But at the same time, doesn't want to throw anything away. CT smoke comes down. Yuri presses into dark, just sending shots. Feels like they're trying to corral Big over towards the A site instead. Safe still sitting on this position. Remains lying in wait. Now the bomb is heading towards that B site, so defenders shouldn't move a muscle. Down to the 20 seconds. Grenades won't move FURIA just yet. First one's an easy pickup because of the low health, but Favin, immediate trade frag. It's that locked-in spot on Plat, and safe. Very nice. Doesn't panic. Neither does Drop. Easy 2K spray down and a little extra sauce.
Oh yeah, very clean, man. And that's just FURIA playing so calm right here, and their time was on their side the entire way through. And Safe just had so much info for so long that nobody had to be close to him because he was locking down that side of the map with an op. He would let them know with seconds to spare that they needed to rotate if he took a shot, and Big did not do enough work to try to get him off that position, and he stayed there for basically the whole round. Very calm, very clean. And FURIA are fully in control of this game now. 12-8, pistols again for Big.
Ooh, but Keto. Yeah, we saw a very excited Art. Careful now. You throw away these guns, you've got problems. KSCERATO on cleanup. 3 headshots, as he always seems to do.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden, that first death doesn't feel nearly as bad. You take people down with you. tabseN, though, don't sleep on this.
Yeah, 2v2 now.
He's got the Kevlar, as does Krimbo. This is an even situation.
Yeah, no one's an A at the moment. Now, these situations are all about awareness. And this angle, Should be hard to read, but drops a little high on the crosshair placement. Also going to be hard to figure out on a map like this. And there is incentive to actually wrap it around to the other site. Now, do they read that Yuri rotated? Because they know that he's a B player. And 40 seconds, Yuri could potentially walk into this. We'll see if he camps out this spot.
Spotted.
And plays the gamble. Oh, did he?
Spotted.
Oh, okay.
Crimbo
But now
runs.
they just run, yeah.
Yep. And tabseN's just going to keep him locked in here. Yeah, it feels like Yuri, I mean, poor guy doesn't know it, but he's being hunted.
tabseN just needs to make sure he can't exit through main. Doesn't have to worry about the other side of the pillar, and eventually Yuri has to bite on this.
Nicely done. Big, huge round. tabseN gets his hands on that AK, and it felt like KSCERATO had done enough.
Wait, that's just a Keto Deagle round, right?
Keto Deagle, and
This
then...
is a save round, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Wow.
Yes, sir.
Well, that's a saving grace. I mean, that would be 13-8.
Mm-hmm. Oh, we came into this round saying FURIA have this one in full control.
Yes.
And they did.
13-8, and money would be buy, save, and instead you have a saving big, winning a round, making it a 3-round game, and it's time to look alive. What does their T side have to offer? Again, it's been their better side in their last 2 wins, but FURIA seem very comfortable with what they have to offer. Can't believe after we get this KSCERATO 3K that things still are lost. But Big don't have to think about that. This is just an opportunity for them. Everybody wants to be known as the best Anubis team right now. Really frees up your veto.
Round 21, don't forget it. Little X factor to the favor of Big. Oh,
he gets
Art
caught.
Peeks out, catches him on the jump back. Now drop versus Favin, this could be a big one. Thing is, Safe's gonna get the angle first. And we could have pressure in through dark, but that's gonna be a Yuri problem. FURIA's 3B initial setup tested yet again, but not overt. Keto's gonna stay tucked. Like we said, just kind of playing outside of it, not feeling the need to go all in unless things go south on long, which still they haven't.
Yeah, they've been prescient of this Keto lurk and tried to keep eyes inside of Con. No. One thing is for certain, Big cannot let FURIA consistently delay like this as well.
It's going to be the hit, and it's coming soon. 35 on the clock. They flash down into the dark. Yuri on the fallback, plays Glizzy safe, just still holding this one angle, looking for his only kill, the one kill they need to keep Big at bay on long. 3 players from
there's
dark.
a new smoke.
They leave.
They can't. They actually can't even go through this. They have to save. They're walking back to save right now because FURIA held a smoke until the 20-second mark. I don't even know where they got that from. It seemed like they used 3 or 4 smokes inside of Connector. Wow, they've shoved him out.
4 players save out of Big. FURIA may have given them that last round by way of Deagle, but this is a freebie back the other way. A smoke wins the round.
Did they juggle one over, or did they just have 3 people throw 3 different smokes in there? Or maybe it was only 2 and they threw them late. I don't know. But again, FURIA have been delaying. Luckily with that save, it's still a full buy for Big.
It's the saving grace.
But of course, lots of players from FURIA saved as well.
Art with that big op pickup last round. Clips CSGO while blinded, jumping back.
They've been pretty stingy about their flashbangs, and over here, safe sitting on this angle. Right, there it is.
Blinded, misses. Retreats with fire behind him. They put that out, and he misses a second shot.
Ooh.
Not ideal.
Yeah, flash is good.
Now Art, that second op, in from Connector, looking for it, but still no skin shown. T's taking a second. He gets blinded. Excellent flashbangs. And tabseN gonna get double flash assists on the play, on the entry, on the crumbling A site from FURIA.
crazy how one flashbang changes everything. We saw this last round that saffee was sitting there on long waiting for almost a minute with his op, and they didn't throw any utility his way, and FURIA were able to organize around that. Now, we saw FURIA have trouble hitting the A site, and for Big, they have trouble hitting the B site. They've got two different problems. Maybe they could learn from each other, but that's after in the demos. In this live match right now, for Big to come back into this game, we're seeing potential weaknesses here on A, potential ways in to win rounds. But the B site right now, I don't even know how they get in. It feels like no matter what they do, FURIA are too far ahead. So we're going to see what now is the game plan. There has been a save, and there already is a good amount of money made from FURIA from that last round. That Big were also forced to save. But it looks like it's just going to be a high money battle here between these two in the second half. I love how emphatic Gob is at all times. He's got so many ideas. It's like, if I was playing this map, if this map existed in 20, I would have retired, boys.
It's easy. Just do this, and then that, and then this. Here, move your hands. I'll show you.
Yeah.
But honestly, I don't know if Gob could have done any better. Excellent individual moments coming out of Big on those entries.
Love that energy.
We got a good game. We got Big to the double digits. We got buys both sides. Fire falling from the sky onto Art.
That is a decent push. Okay, I thought he was going to go all the way through.
You got to be careful because Crimbo's locked into Cringe. Could have another op duel middle. Got to see Art versus saffee, but how about saffee? Molly's exchanged.
Oh, they keep in vision, though.
Yeah, can challenge around this, and Crimbo's not wrong. However, excellent damage off of the frag grenade. You take that if you're KSCERATO. If you're going to try to put up a two-piece, and the flash doesn't find the T's, but it does just pull them into both of the counter-terrorists. 5 versus 3 off of that one. You know Big wanted a piece of that site, and instead it is saffee and Favin left over, trying to claim something back from middle. Art will find his op pickup, and FURIA, from a broken A site that had no defense whatsoever to 5 players alive on this one. Drawing Big in, getting the better of them, and that double op setup pays off.
Yeah, so right there, FURIA just look more solid, and now they solved their A-site problems, and KSCERATO used his utility extraordinarily well there. He countered the Molotov that was landing on Plat with his own, paired it with an HE if they wanted to come in, and they disrespected it by standing behind that molly, and then he had the op as a second line of defense after easily getting his first kill, and then just disengaging. Running off the angle. I think tabseN goes a bit too far here in trying to chase this frag down. It looked a little desperate, and I feel like that's showing right now for Big.
Art again. Looks but doesn't overextend. Utility's making his job tough, though. Pressured. tabseN. Oh! Art given a chance, but this could be a very quick transition out of Big. They could go into this A split, and right now there's only one defender here. It is just KSCERATO, whose head was popped. tabseN hones in on him. And obviously they're going to be cautious because there tends to be an additional defender, but not this time around.
Didn't have to burn too many calories to figure this one out, huh?
Big jump on it.
Caught the aggressive move from Art. And then everything else just made sense instantly. Good vision on that tabseN.
Right.
Catching KSCERATO behind the fire.
Also, tough spot for Art this round, stuck behind that smoke.
But how much closer does this game really get? I mean, I think a round like that is really cool, but we don't see a lot of rounds like that for Big. I mean, we talk about individual level, FURIA just totally eclipsed them in terms of players that they have to work with. And right now, in terms of setups, FURIA, especially on this side of the map, are pristine. They have nothing to worry about. Then they've also proved they can win their round on A. They look comfortable inside of mid between Safe and Art. That was maybe an aberration with the op going down without a kill. It doesn't feel like the comeback is still entirely possible in Big's mind based on what they've seen from themselves so far in this half. Feels like they have to venture into new tactical territory or figure out how to win that round on B, you know? Even if it's sometimes you don't figure out how to win the round on the side of the map that you suck at, but you win in the default and then you end the easy rounds on that side of the map, and then you keep the harder rounds towards the other side where you're more comfortable. And that can be a game plan, but also not seeing a lot of default wins in their future as well. We'll see. You know, it would really speak to Big on this map and just in general, their ability to adapt if they could pull this back. But if I'm FURIA, my shoulders are down. I'm saying just try again. Won't happen again.
Art not nearly as alone with KSCERATO just a couple paces back. But even then, it's this 3B setup that does leave A compromised. If Art loses his support, if they pressure into main, expect KSCERATO to dip. Now they still want to press into middle, so just KSCERATO, keep him here. Art's on the first contact, sees him slide by, gets just stopped through the door.
Oh, KSCERATO dive.
Yeah, time for a multi-kill, but he only gets the one. Crimbo comes through with the quick trade. Just like last time, actually back towards connector. This time it's a few paces ahead, but a missed smoke. That could give Safe an opening. Crimbo sticks around. He's got an Opper here with him in CSGO.
And again, no info is still info. He doesn't see anyone cross, but now they are less scared about the A site. The rotation actually comes over towards B, I think off of Safe's information. But do they re-smoke mid and continue on this way? That's the question. Big clearly have not picked the site, even though FURIA think they have. And it looks like they're now starting to organize towards A. It's unlikely, but it's possible they missed that smoke on purpose for this exact reason. Because right now, no one's playing the A site. Safe couldn't tell them in good conscience that they're going to go here. Oh, okay.
They go back.
Yeah, okay. So they didn't miss the smoke on purpose.
The FURIA aren't budging off of all that utility inside an A site, a vacant site for this defense. 15 seconds, they're hanging on to B, and here it comes. Dark push first. Last time drop went big from here. This time, it's Yuri's turn. We've got 6 seconds, and Safe comes out. Now, I don't think there's time for that plan.
Can't.
He just has to survive. Hold on, standing on useless, drops tabseN, hits both shots, and gives FURIA 15.
Oh, and those are after time deaths as well. What a way to get 15 for FURIA. They played that too cowardly. They needed to swing and trade that frag to make sure they get the bomb planted, and instead, they're jiggling this player with 6 seconds on the clock, and they lose one in the back. They also picked the wrong site. They missed their smoke from mid, and again, use that to make the right call to go and stack the other side of the map. They were walking towards A, but Big did not know there was that enormous gap clearing off the corner of their smoke.
If there's anything that's going well for Big, they've unraveled this mid setup 2 rounds in a row, and they're gonna try again. Art, though, blinded with KSCERATO. Now they're locking it in. It's Art with 1. KSCERATO swaps to the empty gun. Favin's gonna keep a little life on this round. A chance for Big to fight back from a 2v4 to just 3 FURIA players left over, but they get aggressive. Drop's gonna press this one outwards. The bomb doubles back across the bridge, gets caught, but still succeeds. Nice shot out of Favin to keep the hope alive.
There's over a minute left over, and Big in a 2-on-2 situation, I think are gonna be much happier. They got those mid-trades eventually. Yuri coming in.
Again, active play out of FURIA. It's not that flank on B, but it's Yuri in a front-facing position. And both of these remaining players could just line up for him to kick this into the second map, but Favin will continue. This guy's already in with the 3K, hands busy on the bomb. Safe, 21 kills deep, smoke in front of him. All of a sudden, cuts off an option, but he holds that gap. And Favin almost goes into it. He's standing right in the center. Safe's gonna have one shot, and then he will be met by the Colt. Does this come up FURIA? Does Safe no scope to the gut of Faven? Of course he does. Drop kicks him into the second map of this series. FURIA have survived Big's Anubis test.